Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into another KDSJ sports broadcast as we get ready for some high school hoops here on this Saturday afternoon on 980 AM KDSJ, 103.5 FM as well, also online at KDSJ980.com and with the KDSJ Sports mobile app. It's a Black Hills Conference interclass matchup doubleheader today as the Spearfish Spartans make the road trip down to Hot Springs to take on the Hot Springs Bison. And our opener today getting ready to tip off at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. The Spearfish Lady Spartans, 2-2 in the season, take on the 1-2 Hot Springs Lady Bison. And then the second game of our double dip this afternoon here on KDSJ Sports, it'll be the Spearfish Spartan boys, 4-0 in the season, taking on the Hot Springs Bison, who are 0-2 in the season and haven't played a game in about 3 weeks, have the Hot Springs boys. So they've been on a layoff. Meanwhile, the Hot Springs girls just played last night, and the Spearfish boys and girls have had a week off. So that sets the stage, and now we'll lay the foundation. Being brought to you by Heiserling Concrete as Dakota Barry Johnson, head coach of the Spearfish Lady Spartans, in her 4th season at the helm of Spearfish. She'll join us next to talk about their game last week against Rapid City Stevens in a top 5 matchup and preview the Hot Springs Lady Bison in this Black Hills Conference first part of our doubleheader. Coach Johnson joins us next as we lay the foundation, being brought to you by Heiserling Concrete, live right here on KDSJ during the Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip-off.
Collision Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle, guaranteed.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
And welcome back to our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip-off, here to lay the foundation to this girls' varsity matchup between the Spearfish Lady Spartans and the Hot Springs Lady Bison. Head coach for the Spearfish Lady Spartans, head coach Dakota Johnson, joins us. Anyways, Coach Johnson, thank you for joining us with our pregame show and to help lay the foundation to this matchup.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
First, we got to talk about last week and that crushing defeat versus number 4 ranked as Rapid City Stevens. You guys were just there, had chances to win the game. What happened that you saw that really kind of turned the tide into the Raiders' favor last week?
Obviously they hit some big-time shots down the stretch, and we missed some big-time shots down the stretch, and that was ultimately kind of the story of the game, and we were in a very similar situation when we were up at Aberdeen, had every chance to win the game, and we just couldn't go and I had zero doubt in my mind that whole game that we were going to lose that. I thought we were in control majority of the game. Just down the stretch, we couldn't hit some of those crucial shots, turn the ball over a little bit more than we have been in the past first couple games that we've had. So that obviously played a factor because, pretty much every single turnover we had, they turned into points. So hats off to Stevens for being able to capitalize on some of those things, but we're definitely getting closer and closer to finishing out those close games. So nonetheless, it's good lessons learned for us.
Have you done anything different in this week's worth of practice to help combat that situation? As like you said, Coach, you had that similar situation versus Aberdeen Central as you did versus Rapid City Stevens, and 0-2 in both of those games. Has anything changed in practice to help you be better suited to deal with those situations moving forward?
Yeah, I take a lot of that, us as coaches, we take a lot of that in the girls' preparation on maybe not being prepared to finish out and close out those games because they don't have the experience. So trying to give them a little bit more of that experience in practice, game situations, putting them into pressure situations to step up and knock down those free throws, having a lot of conversations about, mental toughness and that sort of thing. So Yes, trying to combat some of those things, but also don't want them to overthink it too much, and just kind of be about us. We kind of got back to the basics this week in practice, focus on what we're good at, and continuing to get better at some of those things.
As head coach Dakota Johnson joins us with our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip off of the girls' varsity matchup between the Hot Springs Bison and the Spearfish Lady Spartans. Looking at this week of practice, Coach, how was this week's practice as far as mental focus and preparation? And also, do you have any injuries or illnesses to report?
I think we're in a really good spot mentally, physically. I think the girls are starting to get in really good condition to play these stretch of games coming up that we have. Like I said, we just kind of got back to the basics, focusing on us, got a lot of shots up this week to kind of prepare to go into Hot Springs and Hill City next week. So that's really what we needed to focus on is just us. Thankfully, we're really healthy. Obviously, some sicknesses have kind of shuffled through the team a little bit. Really proud of how Maya played last week. She had a freak ankle injury the practice before Stevens, and she still managed to get 20 points up in that game. And so we really wanted to focus on getting, the bumps and bruises and aches and pains kind of healed up for this week going into these next couple of games.
As you guys have Hot Springs this week, Hill City's coming up on the schedule as well. You guys have already played Belle-Fourche for a Black Hills Conference opponent. Talk about the focus playing a conference game compared to playing a Class AA opponent like you guys have seen the past few weeks.
I do think that there's a definite up and down-ish, if you will, for lack of a better way to put it. Preparing for a Brandon Valley team is a lot different than preparing for Hot Springs. We want to make sure that regardless of who we're playing, we're preparing as if it's a state tournament game and a high caliber game. So that's kind of the where we want the girls to be, that they're capable of beating Aberdeen Central in triple overtime. They're capable of beating Rapid City Stevens in a close game like that. We just kind of have to get over that hump, and so we need to for sure step on the floor against Hot Springs, against Hill City, as if we're playing, a top team in the state, to make sure that we maintain the level that we want to be at.
Turning the page to Hot Springs, when you look at the Lady Bison, Coach, what stands out on the court that you need to prepare for? I feel like they have a good group of hardworking gals. They are, they'll get after it. I think that they have some athletic gals that run the floor well, that can rebound well. Their point guard has been doing pretty good for them. So, not a team that we can take for granted by any means. We definitely need to step on the floor and take care of business, and make sure that we, the first 3 minutes is kind of what we tell the girls. First 3 minutes, we need to make sure that we're starting the game right, and don't give them any easy looks. As you look at the roster of this Hot Springs team, a very experienced team with a lot of seniors and juniors, and then you look at the rest of the roster, eighth graders, and more eighth graders on this team. I don't think I've ever seen this many grade school kids on a varsity basketball team. So talk about that dynamic and the benefits and challenges for going up against a team that's very experienced-led, but then has so much younger talent also on the varsity level.
Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be more common because across the state we're just struggling so much to get numbers on the girls basketball team. So then we're asking eighth graders to come up and play at a high level. I think it's good experience for sure for them, but it's definitely a change of pace. So to our advantage, hopefully we take advantage of that, in that maybe they're not ready for that pace quite yet. But they do, like you said, they do have some great senior leadership to get them up to that pace. So we can't take it for granted, like I said, by any means. And we got to respect everyone on that floor and just make sure we focus on us and what we're out there to accomplish.
And finally, Coach, what are your keys to a win tonight versus the Hot Springs Lady Bison?
Definitely have to take care of the basketball. We can't let their pressure get up in us. We can't give them second chance opportunities. that sort of thing. So limiting them to one shot and making sure we're capitalizing on what our strengths are in our shots, being ready to step on the floor and knock it down.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach. That's all I got. Good luck in tonight's matchup, and we look forward to sitting down and talking with you here soon.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
As that was head coach Dakota Johnson, here to help lay the foundation to this girls varsity matchup, brought to you by Heiserling Concrete. We'll continue with the matchup menu coming up next on KDSJ Radio and KDSJ-TV.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
And welcome here to Case Auditorium at Hot Springs High School as the Bison host the Spearfish Lady Spartans in the first game of our double dip this afternoon. And our countdown to tip-off being brought to you by Jake's Collision Repair with locations in Sturgis and Spearfish. As the Spartans on their first possession, unable to get anything to go. Second possession, they miss a three-pointer. So 0-0 is we're just underway here before the scheduled 2 o'clock game. As Hot Springs has the basketball here for the second possession. They turn the ball over the first time. The Spartans using their usual starting 5 today with Adeline Bowman, Josie Dana, Avery Kirk, Kate Scharf, and Maya Kachutin. For the Hot Springs Lady Bison, they will start with Olivia LeGrand, a junior, Kennedy Majeski, a senior, number 21, Destiny Webb, a senior, number 22, Ashlyn Elshier, a junior, and also getting the start for the Hot Springs Lady Bison as we hear the shot clock violation go off behind us. So a turnover there on Hot Springs on their first 2 possessions. Let's see, we got 21, we got 22. How about number 24? She also gets a start. That would be Katie Bader, and she is a senior. So Hot Springs will be starting with junior, senior, senior, junior, senior, and the starting 5 rotation here for the home team, Hot Springs Bison. Three-pointer by Kachutin is no good. Spearfish unable to get any points so far in the first minute and a half of this game as the Spartans make the road trip down to the Southern Hills on a Saturday afternoon for some Black Hills Conference interclass matchup tonight. Hot Springs turns the ball over their first 3 possessions as they get it up court. Spearfish off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound, they get it off to Scharf. Scharf misses as well. So meanwhile, the Spearfish Spartans have the lead on their basket. Hot Springs, they have more turnovers in the bakery here on this Saturday as we're 0-0. 6:14 left to play here in the first quarter. Coach Johnson said in our Laying the Foundation segment with Clayson Davis, the first 3 minutes are going to be crucial here for Spearfish to get off to a good start, and not the way Coach Johnson wants things going so far. I'm Cody Oliver with the play-by-play here this afternoon. We also have coverage over on KDSJ-TV where you can watch the game for free through our YouTube channel. And thanks once again, Clayson Davis, as him and I make the road trip down here to Hot Springs.
Yeah, kind of sliding our way down to Hot Springs as the roads and travel conditions weren't ideal by any means. But no, glad to definitely be here and yeah, not the best start for the Spartans. See if Maya Kachutin can get it going with a 3, and she does.
So Maya Kachutin hits the 3 ball for Spearfish, and we're back on track here for the Spearfish Lady Spartans with the offense. See a shot go through and build up that confidence. Meanwhile, the Hot Springs Lady Bison, as they go left to right on the radio dial, they kick it out. It's a 3-pointer for the tie, no good that time for Hot Springs. That one is attempted by Kennedy Majeski, the senior guard at 5'7", unable to hit the 3, and now Spearfish will get it back.
Yeah, that Maya Kachutin step-back 3 is finally something going for Spearfish offensively, and see if that can get them into a rhythm early in this contest. Again, inter-class matchup. You see a 3 from Josie Dana off the back iron, no good. Rebound by Hot Springs, number 11, Kennedy Maciejewski. And another turnover for Spearfish. Up floor, layup up and good. Maya Kachutin with the first 5 points for Spearfish. with about a little over halfway past the first quarter.
3-pointer and a 2-pointer for Cochuton as it's 5-0 Spearfish. As Hot Springs gets it across half court. Now they go to the baseline and maybe too deep underneath the baseline. She was either going to run out of bounds or travel with it, and she walked with the basketball. So that'll be a violation on Hot Springs. Gives the ball back to Spearfish as they'll get the ball inbounds to Josie Dana and bring the ball up the floor.
Tierson Grubb and Callie Reiners checking in for the Spartans.
You know the Spartans pretty well. The main girl for Hot Springs will probably be Kennedy Majeski. She is their leader as a senior guard at 5'7". We'll see what Destiny Webb can add to the starting lineup here for Hot Springs. A couple of shots missed here by Spearfish and a foul underneath. Royce Rutzer's crew is here in Hot Springs today, as I know he'll be doing both games. Not quite sure if the entire crew will be doing both games. But Runnin' Royce and his officiating crew are the law on the court today here for this Saturday matinee from Case Auditorium in Hot Springs. Reiners has it partially blocked, and enough of the hand. That'll be a foul on Hot Springs. No fouls yet on the visiting team, the Spearfish Lady Spartans. That'll be the second team foul on Bison, and the first on Kaylee Bader. And 3-pointer on the way, no good by Scharf. Long rebound by Hot Springs, and they were able to control it, but then Spearfish knocked it away. So to be back to Hot Springs as they take the ball left to right in this first half of play on their home court. Hot Springs played last night against Lakota Tech, gave up over 90 points in that loss as they come into this Black Hills Conference 1-2 overall on the season and 0-1 in Black Hills Conference play. This is the Spearfish Lady Spartans' 5th game of the season, so about the quarter-way point of the regular season for them. Meanwhile, just game number 4 for Hot Springs.
And right now you see the pressure from Spearfish getting to Hot Springs. They're picking them up right past the mid-court line, picking them up man-to-man, the defense. But Spearfish, they like to pride themselves on defense and see if that can transition over to offense as Kate Scharf misses a 3. One pass, 3-pointer, no good for Spearfish. Still only 5-0. Very low-scoring first quarter.
Well, we talked about that first 3 minutes. It wasn't great for Spearfish. Only 2 buckets so far. They have forced the turnovers at the defensive end, but offense has not been clicking, and Coach Dakota Barry Johnson will call a timeout to talk things over here for Spearfish. He's made some substitutions already here in the first 4.5 minutes of play, and with 3:32 left to play in the first quarter, it is 5-0 in favor of Spearfish. We're going to keep it right here as we have just a 30-second timeout. And thanks to some of our sponsors, including Jake's Collision Repair, they brought us our pregame show and our countdown to tip-off with locations in Spearfish and Sturgis. We have our broadcast booth here being brought to you by Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider to several area high schools in the Black Hills and northeastern Wyoming, as we are set up on the opposite side of the benches here at Case Auditorium. So Hot Springs bench would be over across the way to the left, and then the scorers table in the middle with the Spearfish bench and the crowd behind the Spartans off to our right on the other side of the floor. So we see Spearfish going to be shooting at the left end of your radio dial and your browser and your wherever you are watching this game on KDSJ-TV. Scharf goes inside, just outside the paint, puts up the shot, no good. And Spearfish, most of their shots just kind of soft right now. I told Clayson on the way down here, this is kind of an old school gym, and these rims are about as old as the hills, I think. And it's a tough place to shoot. You can be in a hot streak coming into this game and you just go cold. Something with the rims here, I believe. But maybe a couple times you see those shots go in, like Maya Kidd shooting. She has all 5 points.
An easy way to combat the tough rims to shoot, especially if you're not used to it, is use the glass. They have that.
That's why it's there.
Have that glass up there for a reason. I know it might not be as cool to have a bank shot, but in fact the bank is open on a Saturday, and right there Josie Dana tried using the backboard off of the layup. Too strong, and right now Spearfish not shooting well from the floor, especially in the paint points. Hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities, but not a lot of points. But they keep getting opportunities after forcing all these turnovers from Hot Springs.
Spearfish wants to average about 20 points per quarter. Of course, second half, they would like to have that running clock and have over a 35-point lead. But right now, it's just a 5-point advantage. Got to give credit to the Spartans' defense, though, getting the shutout so far with 2.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Hot Springs hasn't been able to find a bucket as they have more turnovers than probably the Spartans have points. 5-0 here. Underneath, pass goes inside, and it is going to be hacked to the act. That'll be the third team foul on Hot Springs, and this one will be in the process of shooting, so that'll send Lainey Ewing to the free throw line. Now, I haven't seen her play last week against Rapid City Stevens. Coach Johnson was talking about her in the preseason, so we get to see her now. Did she play at Aberdeen and Pierre?
She played actually a lot versus Pierre. She had a lot of good minutes for Pierre. I think she even got herself a basket as well. That's another ball player for Spearfish who had a good game versus Pierre, and that was Tierson Grubb. Led the team in rebounds, also led the team in fouls. She finished with 4. Don't know if that's a statistic that you want to be necessarily proud of. In my high school days, I was pretty proud of my average of 5 fouls per game.
Spearfish has gotten 3 deep here so far. And we go down to the baseline for Hot Springs. They pick up the dribble, and I believe she's going to travel. She did walk with it. So a travel there on Hot Springs, and again, the old reference to we got a bakery here on a Saturday with all these turnovers. 2:03 left to play in the first quarter, 5-0 Spearfish. It's as cold it is outside, it is shooting here for Spearfish. So let's see if they can get something rolling. Reiners goes over in the corner, 3-pointer on the way. That's going to be no good. Weak side rebound taken down here by the Hot Springs Lady Bison. Getting the rebound there is Majeski. Now she gets it across. Well, dribbles it off her foot and out of bounds. It'll go back to the Spartans with 1:40 left to play here in the first quarter.
Seems like these final 4 minutes of the first quarter is taking about as much time as the actual first quarter, especially with all these clock stoppages.
We've had turnovers. We've had 3 fouls on Hot Springs, none on Spearfish. And now in trouble on the baseline, trying to go deeper underneath. And we're going to have a foul called here on Hot Springs. And some more contact there against Tierson Grubb, the junior post player at 5'10", coming in off the bench. We've seen Grubb, Reiners, and Ewing in off the bench here this afternoon.
Right now, Hot Springs in a 2-3 zone defense. Spearfish has been able to get open looks on the zone. They just haven't been able to get any points to convert.
Like 3 missed layups. There's another one for Spearfish. And it's going to be a jump ball with the possession arrow pointing to the Spearfish Spartans.
Like I said, Spearfish, they've been able to get good looks in the paint. They just haven't been able to convert. And even right there, Josie Dana had a possibility of a wide open 3-pointer, but kind of a lazy pass, not able to get Josie the open look.
Spearfish trying to work through this 2-3 zone. There's a bounce pass, shot clock out to 6, down to 5. Here's Dana. Dana, bounce pass again. Somebody's going to have to shoot. And there goes the shot clock buzzer. Did not get it off in time. So it'll be a shot clock violation on Spearfish. So Spartans' first quarter just looks like they're in foreign territory down here in Hot Springs on this Saturday afternoon. They got here earlier this morning, so no trouble getting down here or distractions. It's just trying to get the ball going through the hoop. Here's a nice steal by Dana, put up both hands. She makes the pass into Scharf. Scharf, a wild layup and missed it. And now Spearfish able to get the offensive rebound. We got about a 6-second differential shot clock to game clock. There is another foul underneath by Hot Springs. We're going to be in the double bonus now. It was in the process of shooting anyway. So that'll send Tierson Grubb to the free throw line.
It's one thing that we haven't seen much of for Spearfish in this first quarter is Maya Kachutin. She had the first 5 points, and then she has taken a seat. I think Coach Johnson wants to find out who's going to step up when Kachutin's off the floor, especially when you go up against a AA team here coming up in a few weeks with Brandon Valley and Harrisburg. They'll be coming to town here soon.
Somebody other than Kachutin has scored, and that would be number 21, Tierson Grubb. getting that one to go for Spearfish. So she adds one free throw out of 2. Spearfish up 6-0, and we're going to have a timeout called here by the Hot Springs Lady Bison with 20.8 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. We also want to say thanks to Heiserling Concrete as they brought us the Laying the Foundation segment. That's when we heard from head coach Dakota Johnson, Beef Logic, and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. Thanks to them, and also the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection. These two teams met on December 30th of 2023, their last meeting, and it was up in Spearfish last year. Spearfish got the win 48-10, as Spearfish was 16-8 last year on the season. They finished 7th at the state tourney. So far, they're 2-2 on the season. Win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1 is how it's gone so far, with a win over Belfouche, then losing in triple overtime at Aberdeen Central, winning against Pierre the next afternoon, and then losing a 3-point game to Rapid City Stevens last Saturday here on KDSJ Sports, 55-52. Josie Dana had 25. She had a great game last week with 12 in the first half, 13 in the second half. Nobody's had a great game so far. It's 6-0 first quarter, and we're almost done with this first frame. We'll see if Spearfish can get a bucket to go right before the buzzer here with 9 seconds left. Dribbling it is Dana over to Scharf, back to Dana. Dana against this 2-3 zone, penetrates through, gets it off the glass, and good for Josie Dana. She was our superior performance player of the game last Saturday in that win over that loss against 4th-ranked Stevens. She gets the bucket there. So 3 girls have scored for Spearfish, 5 from Cochuton, 2 from Dana, and 1 from Grubb, and that's 8 points. Spearfish getting the shutout through first quarter. It's 8-0 Spartans as we head to the second frame. We'll be back with more KDSJ High School basketball after these.
No matter what life throws in your direction, Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
Whether you've lived here for years or if you're new to town, everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them, all major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superiorautost.com.
Back to Case Auditorium here in Hot Springs as the girls game first, the boys game to follow at around 3:30 p.m. this afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on KDSJ 980 AM, 103.5 FM in the Northern Black Hills. We even got that all the way over to Rapid City today. And then also online where you can get it anywhere, KDSJ980.com, and with the KDSJ Sports mobile app. Also live today, you can watch it through KDSJ-TV on our YouTube channel as Clayson Davis taking care of things over there as we get a glimpse into the start of this second quarter. Spearfish has the basketball, top of the key. They go over to Cochuton, now to Kirk, back outside Dana. Dana looks over that 2-3 zone. And here's a three-pointer, and that's good for Cochuton.
Yeah, the shooting Cochuton making an appearance back in the game as she had the first 5 points of the first quarter and then pretty much sat the bench for most of the first. I think head coach Dakota Johnson was seeing who was going to step up in the scoring column for Spearfish with Cochuton out of the game. Well, they only scored 3 points since. Cochuton's like, all right, well, if no one else is going to score points, might as well do it herself, and that's what she did with that three-pointer.
Hot Springs looks over this Spearfish defense here. It's a girl-to-girl D played by Spearfish in the maroon and white road jerseys here on this Saturday. First game in a week for the Spartans. They went back to school on Thursday and then have had some practice sessions to get ready for this road trip down here. Hot Springs in the blue and white white jerseys for home. Bison across the front in blue. Blue numbers, blue trim. Got that white and blue, the great colors of the Lemon Cowgirls and Cowboys. Here's Avery Kirk underneath the bottom block, makes that extra pass underneath, and it's Tierson Grubb again. Nice hard work by the post player for Spearfish, able to grab that basketball underneath, deep underneath the basket, and able to get fouled, so Grubb will go to the charity stripe.
Yeah, Tierson Grubb has been one of those players for Spearfish, especially from her post position right there in the middle, playing the number 5 role. She just seems to get better and better throughout the year, especially with her post moves and just finding the open spot there in this 2-3 zone, as especially in that 2-3 zone, it can get very congested down in the middle. And Tierson so far has been doing a good job of finding the open looks.
Missed the second free throw, and cleaning up the miss was Avery Kirk. So 4 different girls have scored now for Spearfish. Kirk with the offensive rebound and put it up and in for 2. Spartans up 14-zip. When will Hot Springs score? Well, maybe find out. Hopefully this afternoon. Here is Bader with the basketball. She was sitting right in front of us as we were sitting at our Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. Teenagers can be teenagers. One of the parents said, "Good luck, girls," and she just rolled her eyes to the back of her head. She knew what they were maybe up against today against Spearfish. They settled back into the 2-3 zone. So didn't see a whole lot of confidence from the young gal. Here is a shot in the corner by Kachutin, no good.
I believe that's her first missed basket of the entire game so far.
If you're Hot Springs, I mean, you're only down by 14 points in the first half to a Class AA Spearfish squad. Granted, you haven't scored a bucket at your end, but you're contesting these shots underneath by Spearfish, so then Spearfish has to step back out. They miss a 3 there by Reiners. So the cold shooting from the field for Spearfish is giving Hot Springs a chance here, but Hot Springs, they've been turning the ball over, haven't had very many shot opportunities. As they come over here to the near wing, not dribbling it yet is Majeski. She's one of their main players through 3 games, and they lose the basketball. Here's Kirk with the steal. Kirk, layup, good. Now Spearfish is rolling. Kirk with a couple of buckets. Kachutin has 8. Grubb has 2 points. Dana has a couple of points. Kirk has 4 points. Spearfish putting on a little press. Hot Springs able to get a pass. They go up, use the glass, and it's good. We have points for Hot Springs, and that's by number 34. And coming in off the bench is Haley White. I believe that was 34, maybe it was 24. No, it was 34. She's an 8th grader. As you mentioned in the pregame show with Coach Johnson, there are a handful of 8th graders that have been brought up from the middle school program now to the varsity roster.
Yeah, 5 8th graders to be exact. When I first looked at the roster earlier this week, I could have sworn I never saw that many 8th graders on a varsity roster. And head coach Dakota Johnson, as she stated in the pregame show, it's like there's not a lot of teams, especially in the smaller schools, Class A, Class B, that just have the numbers for girls sports and girls basketball. And they're having to call up a lot of grade school kids in order to fill some spots.
So Hot Springs scored their first bucket with about 5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. It's now 18-2, and we're going to have travel here on the near wing as Hot Springs will turn the ball over. Checking the lineup here for Spearfish, we got Kachutin out there. We also have Reiners, Kirk, Grubb, and Kate Scharf over there.
As Avery Kirk has scored the past 4 points for Spearfish. See if she steps up into a scoring role this contest. Seems like every single game there's been one Spartan other than number 32 in maroon that goes off in the scoring column.
Josie Dana did it last week, 25 points. She's sitting there right now in between a couple of coaches on the bench getting some instructions. Hot Springs has it as they go left to right in the home white. High pass comes over here to the wing. Now a good shot from the elbow. That's going to be no good. And that one was by Kaylee Bader. Here comes Spearfish down the floor. And the maroon bounce pass. I like that extra pass inside to Grubb, but unable to finish. Spearfish has been shooting better from downtown than they have from the rest of the floor. As Spearfish has hit 2 3-pointers. They have 2 other baskets. This one high off the glass by Hot Springs, no good. Scharf dribbles it up. Now to Kachutin. Kachutin makes that Euro step into the paint. Still no fouls called on Spearfish here. We've played almost, 5 and 8. My high school math gets me to 13. 13 minutes of play. No fouls on Spearfish. Now 2 in this quarter on Hot Springs. So Kachootin at the line.
Of course, Hot Springs had 4 in the first quarter as well, as Tierson Grubb will take a seat. And coming into the game, we'll have another Lainey Ewing appearance, the senior, 5'9" center.
And the second free throw is good by Kachootin. So she now has a dozen points out of the 20. I think I saw last week against Stevens, Dana and Kachootin had 46 of the 52 points for Spearfish. You just didn't get anything from anybody else last week in that loss against Rapid City Stevens, as Spartans came up empty that final 4 possessions.
Has got a timeout on the floor. I believe it will be taken by Hot Springs, as the point guard in the backcourt, looks like Elsher was having trouble with Kate Scharf, and head coach for the Hot Springs Bison, Mike Remington, will take a timeout.
Spearfish coming into this game averaging 60 points per game, giving up about 52 points per game. Again, they've had a triple overtime game. They had a 3-point game against Rapid City Stevens last Saturday. Spearfish right now ranked number 5 in the state in the media poll and the seeding points. Hot Springs, they lost their first game to Hill City 55-13. Then they got a 1-point win over Alliance, Nebraska, 42-41. They lost last night, though, at home against Lakota Tech, 91-22.
Oof.
And that was with a running clock in the second half. So this is a second game of a back-to-back. Good for them. It's both at home for Hot Springs. And then they'll be back in action Tuesday when they host Shadron as part of a homestand here at Case Auditorium.
Another pass in bounds, another turnover for Hot Springs. So now Spearfish, the ball didn't get touched in the field of play, so they'll have the possession right there already at the arc.
One other Black Hills Conference girls basketball game today. Sturgis is on the road at Douglas with about a 3 o'clock tip. 3-pointers good for Kate Scharf.
And Kate Scharf is another one of those ball club players for Spearfish that can go off at about any night. She had a really good game versus Pierre, as Kate Scharf, another one of those guards for Spearfish that can shoot the ball very well, plays really good defense. She's been struggling from inside the paint. And the past few games, she struggled from behind the arc and has really done most of her damage inside the paint. See if she can get her warmed up after that 3-pointer.
Kachootin hits the 3, so we have back-to-back 3-pointers made by Spearfish. The Spartans scored 8 points in the first quarter. They've scored 18 here in the second quarter as they built up a 26-2 lead with 2:02 left to play before halftime. We'll take a break, be back with more high school hoops here on KDSJ Sports.
Logic Inc. is proud to sponsor South Dakota's high school and collegiate athletes this season as they work alongside their partners at the South Dakota Beef Industry Council to deliver the Build Your Base Sports Nutrition Program at local high schools and colleges around the state and the country. Are you looking for a simple, easy-to-follow program that can help you and your family optimize performance both on and off the field of play? Check out buildyourbase.org and learn why beef continues to be the premier protein for athletic performance and recovery.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
I'm Cody Oliver back here with Clayson Davis in Hot Springs this afternoon at Case Auditorium down here in the southern Black Hills as Spearfish after the timeout called by Hot Springs. Hot Springs has 2 timeouts left here in the half, 4 timeouts left for Spearfish. 3-pointer no good by Hot Springs, and here comes Spearfish as they get the ball moving down the floor up to Scharf. Scharf does not use the glass, but she will be fouled. That'll be the 3rd team foul in this quarter on Hot Springs. The 8th foul of the game. No fouls have been called on Spearfish, so they've been playing clean at the other end. This will be 2 free throws coming up for Kate Scharf. She misses the first.
Quick look at the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Just right with 1 minute in the first quarter, Custer and Teospe Topa tied at 5 apiece. And then live from Madison, Belle-Fourche, the Lady Bronx, beat Howard today 46-33.
Now here comes backcourt Hot Springs with it. And the coach of Hot Springs going to have to call another timeout as they had that 10-second count going on them. The press was there for Spearfish. This will be a full timeout here for the Hot Springs Lady Bison as they trail 27-2. Let's have a look at your matchup menu today, being brought to you by South Dakota Beef Industry Council and Beef Logic with our matchup menu. High school girls basketball. The Faith Lady Longhorns are heading up to Henninger, North Dakota to take on Henninger Scranton. Lee Deadwood will go out to Kadoka to play a pretty good Kadoka area Cougars squad. The Lady Cougars have been playing well here through the first 5 games. Let's see, Belle-Fourche is taking on Howard. That game is over in Madison, and we just had a score on that. Number 5 Spearfish is at Hot Springs here on KDSJ as a Black Hills Conference matchup. New Underwood is at White River in the Battle of the Tigers. Teospe Topa is up against Custer. That game is out in Madison. And also Pierre is at Bismarck, North Dakota. Sturgis is at Douglas in the other Black Hills Conference girls game today. Aberdeen Central is at Yankton. Hill City is at Harding County this afternoon. Also, Rapid City Christian is taking on Dickinson Trinity. Chamberlain is at Wall. And Campbell County goes to St. Thomas More tonight. You raised your fist like you hit a 21 at blackjack. What happened over there?
No, I'm not that lucky. But Nebraska's leading UCLA in men's college basketball currently in the second half. So that's cool.
There's your daily Cornhusker update brought to you by Clayson Davis.
You know, for half of our listening audience, they might be pretty excited about that.
Okay, well, I thought last week when we got done with the Husker football, we wouldn't have to bring it up again, but we did. And
well, I wasn't going to, but it popped up on my phone, and I'm like, you know, this is newsworthy.
A notification. 27-2. That's newsworthy. Spearfish up by 25. Underneath, almost newsworthy, almost a headline here, was a bucket by Hot Springs with it rimmed out. They did get the offensive rebound, a new shot clock, and our second foul now on Spearfish. Again, our matchup menu being brought to you by Beef Logic and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council, reminding you to eat beef.
I believe that was Callie Reiners with her second foul in about 5 seconds.
Both fouls were on her, and she makes the quick exit to the bench. Here's Hot Springs, another runner, and we went a long time without any fouls on Spearfish. Now we've had 3 on them in just a little bit. This one will be in the process of shooting, and this one I think is going to be the 8th grader. Haley White, the 8th grader. Guard, 5'7", will go to the free throw line.
As again, we have another stoppage, it seems like, with all the fouls. Now 3 fouls for, okay, that's not right. Yep, there we go. They gave the foul to Hot Springs, even though it was on Spearfish, and it read 5 fouls to 3 for Hot Springs. But there it is, 3 fouls apiece. As now the fouls are really starting to get caught up to both teams, as the first free throw from Hot Springs is good. It's the first bucket as in many minutes for Hot Springs, and the 8th grader nails both of her free throws, making it a 27-4 contest here with about 45 seconds left to go in the first half.
The 8th grader, White, has all 4 points for Hot Springs. Under 40 seconds left to play here in the second quarter, we have a double dribble on Spearfish.
That was just a mental error from Josie Dana. Picked up her dribble, went to go dribble again, and Coach Johnson just kind of shook her head. It's like, you've got to be kidding me.
Fundamentals. There's got to be some fun in the fundamentals. And here's Hot Springs not having very much fun here this afternoon as they lose the ball. Up ahead to Kate Scharf. She lays it up and in for 2. So Scharf now has 6 points on the afternoon. Ketchuten still leads the way with 15 here in the first half. And then you got Grubb with a couple made free throws, 2 points for Dana, 4 points from Kirk, and 4, 5, 6 points from Scharf. Coming up at halftime, it's being brought to you by Wolf's Plumbing and Heating. We'll have a quick recap of this first half, and then we'll hear from the Hot Springs boys head coach, Aaron Nodaboom, will join us. Scharf with the steal and lays it up and in for 2 as Spearfish is building up a 27-point lead. 5 seconds left to go here in the first half. Getting across half court, you got to shoot it. She does, and it will not go in. 3-pointer just off the mark by Hot Springs at the buzzer, as that 3-point attempt was up and no good by Majeski. So halftime here at Case Auditorium in Hot Springs. It is Spearfish. Well, they were up 8-0 at the end of the first quarter. Now they're up 31-4 at halftime. We'll be back with your Wolf's Plumbing and Heating halftime show coming up next right here on KDSJ 980, 103.5, KDSJ980.com, along with the KDSJ mobile app and live today on KDSJ-TV.
Vehicles today are complicated and expensive. The professionals at Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Spearfish are here to guide you through everything automotive. From cars, trucks, and SUVs to parts and repairs, Junix takes the confusion out of automobile ownership. Enjoy the ride with Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Family owned since 1931 on West Jackson in Spearfish.
Whatever the weather, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating keeps you in the comfort zone with expert heating and air conditioning repair or replacement from American Standard Mitsubishi. For over 70 years, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating has delivered quality service to the Northern Hills and Northeast Wyoming. When you need timely, expert service for heating, cooling, or plumbing, call 605-642-5755 or search Wolf's Plumbing and Heating and stay in the comfort zone.
Fisher Sand and Gravel of Spearfish supports community and school athletics. Plus, they support community development with services in and around the Black Hills. Fisher is an aggregate company headquartered in Spearfish with 2 local commercial quarries in Beulah and Newcastle, Wyoming. They sell all sizes of aggregates for commercial and individual projects from a pickup load to thousands of ton. Whatever you need, Fisher Sand and Gravel, proud supporter of all community, college, and high school athletics. Good luck to all teams and athletes competing in today's game.
Drive it on to victory with the Granite Home Team. At Granite Automotive, making all the right moves and scoring points for a better customer experience is a true team effort. From sales to finance, showroom to service, every Granite Home Team member has a role to play and a job to perform to make sure your next buying experience is your best buying experience. Enthusiastically on your side. Drive Granite. Go team. Go Granite. Buick, Nissan, GMC, Rapid City. Click drivegranite.com.
Hot Springs 31-4. The Lady Spartans were up 8-0 at the end of the first quarter. And then they scored 23 points in the second quarter. Hot Springs scored 4 points. All 4 points from an 8th grader, Haley White. Let's see, so that is your first half scoring summary. For Spearfish, they did get 5 girls into the scoring column. Ketchuten right now leads the way with 15 points. Then Tiersten Grubb with 2 points, both at the free throw line. Josie Dana has 2 points and 1 made field goal. Avery Kirk has a couple made field goals for 4 points. And Kate Scharf has 8 points for Spearfish. And that is a look at your first half numbers as Spearfish controls it 31-4. Coming up next, since we have a quick turnover between the girls and boys games this afternoon, we don't have time to air both of our pregame interviews for the boys game. So we'll hear from Aaron Nodaboom, the head coach of the Hot Springs Bison. They had 2 games in 3 days, and now they've had 3 weeks off. So going to be a little bit rusty today. We'll see. We'll hear from the head coach of the Bison coming up right here on KDSJ Sports.
For nearly 50 years, Low Roofing Incorporated has been the trusted name in commercial roofing across western South Dakota and eastern Wyoming. Family owned and operated since 1975, they bring quality craftsmanship and reliable service to every project, big or small. From repairs to new installations, Low Roofing Incorporated covers it all. Protect your business with the experts who care and products that last. Call 1-800-658-4543. Low Roofing Incorporated. Building a legacy of trust, one roof at a time.
409 Kansas City Street.
As we get ready for some high school basketball this afternoon here on KDSJ Sports, the Spearfish Spartans making the road trip down here to Hot Springs to go up against the Bison. And we catch up with Hot Springs head coach Aaron Notaboom joins us once again. It's been a while, Coach, since we talked, so thanks so much for taking some time.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Catch us up. How many years have you been the head coach there at Hot Springs? I lost count.
This is year 13.
Now, this is kind of a weird schedule. You guys have only played 2 games so far, so I can only imagine it was a sprint to begin practice the first couple weeks, and then you play 2 games in 3 days, and now you haven't had a game in 3 weeks. How's that been?
Well, it's been a little bit of a curse and a blessing, I guess you could say. It's been I don't know that I love it having that big of a gap, and something we're definitely kind of looking at moving forward. But there were some odd changes that happened this year that were out of our control. It's also been good because we're really inexperienced and we need some practice time. Got a lot of guys that haven't really played together as much as we'd like them to have played together. So gives us a little bit more time to kind of gel some things and get guys going.
And you're going to have to be ready for this afternoon's Black Hills Conference matchup when you end your home opener here this afternoon against the Spearfish Spartans. But before we talk about the Spartans, remind us how you guys did last year.
We were pretty solid. I think it ended 18-3. We ended up losing in double overtime in the Stodax 16.
Who was that against?
Vermillion. We had a great run with those guys, and it was a lot of fun, but they're all off doing great things. And we've got a new group of guys that we're really excited to work with.
And we saw some of them play football back in the fall, and your first game was against a good football team, the Wall Eagles. Have a pretty good basketball team as well. You met up with them way back in December, and tough go of it there in the season opener.
Yeah. We like I said, we just haven't had a lot of time on the floor with these guys, and it seemed like we had hardly had even a few practices and taking the team pictures, and now we're playing a game. And there were definitely some things we learned from in that one, and I thought we played a lot better in the next one. But we had a little bit of foul trouble against Alliance, and we ended up dropping that one as well.
Again, losing to Wall 71-36, and then a couple days later going down to Alliance, Nebraska, and losing that one 55-49. So you do score more points and make it a little bit closer there in that second game. Probably not a whole lot to go on so far with just 2 games, but maybe some of your leaders, returners, returning starters. What do you got?
We've got one returning starter from he's actually I think he started maybe the last 2 years, but he's been a guy played in the state tournament for us as a sophomore a lot. He played a lot of time, and he was a starter last year and one of our best players, all conference guy in Aiden G. He's a great player. He's a good guy. He's a great leader for our guys, and somebody that our younger kids really look up to in terms of work ethic and what you want to get out of being a Hot Springs Bison.
And that's Aiden Janice, now a senior for Hot Springs. How many seniors do you have?
We have 2. There's another senior that ended up coming out. This is his first year ever playing. He's never played basketball before for us in high school. He played in middle school. He's a baseball guy. But this year he decided to come out and give it a shot. And he's actually a starter for us, McCoy Rippentrop, and he's been doing a great job. For, like I said, the lack of experience is something that's kind of a learning curve, but he's been a great guy and a great addition.
Who are some other guys that we should know about?
We got Jaden Koffler at point guard. He's been really solid. He had a good summer for us. He's kind of our primary ball handler, and he's pretty good shooter, pretty good defender. Connor Kramer, he kind of hit a growth spurt. He's long, athletic. He didn't necessarily get as much time as this summer as we would have liked because he broke his ankle in an early football camp in the spring. And then he just kind of rehabbed that for for the summer, but he's come out and he's healthy now, and he's really he's making leaps and bounds as practices kind of kick off and games start for us.
And you've been around the Black Hills Conference now for over a decade, talking to other coaches. This is going to be a pretty good Black Hills Conference again. Who do you think are some of the top teams?
Oh boy, I think Spearfish is right in the mix. I think they're a handful for anybody that's going to play them this year. And then of course, St. Thomas More has a really good basketball team. They're actually they're going to cause some problems for a lot of people, I think, with their size. And you got Rapid City Christian, who, I mean, obviously had a great state tournament last year and a great season. And then even Custer and Hill City are looking to make some noise this year. So it's going to be a fun one to see how it all plays out this year.
And your guys' schedule here in January features the West River Tournament. You guys have always done well in that. I see you go up against Belle Fourche at the end of the month. You have a matchup with Pine Ridge. You head down. You host Pine Ridge coming up later on next week. Host Shadron next week. But your home opener is this afternoon against the Spearfish Spartans. They're coming in 4-0, have beaten some Class AA teams. What's your scouting report on them?
Well, I mean, they return a lot of guys, and they gave us all we could handle and ended up beating us last year up at their place. They were one of our losses on the season, and they're great. They've got great guards. They've got pretty solid bigs. The Doran kid is a good athlete, tough to handle physically. And they're well coached, so it's going to be a handful, and we're going to have to come ready to play and bring our A game.
Defensively, talk about some of your keys there and what you'll be doing.
Well, I think we're just going to try to match up and do what we do. Try to give them one shot, rebound the basketball, and look to control the tempo.
Offensively, where do we go?
Oh, Aiden Janice is always going to be a focal point for us. I mean, he's a guy that I think is one of the better big men in the state. I think he's worked really hard in his game to be able to kind of step it out to three now, and he can take you off the dribble. I think he's a handful for anybody on that end of the floor. And then, we're going to look to kind of hit everything by committee with the other guys, hit open shots, move without the basketball, set teammates up for positions that they can be successful.
This is your guys' first game in about 3 weeks. Are you guys sick and tired of playing each other?
Yes, it's time. We would love to get out there and get some reps. And what better team to give us a measuring stick, right, than one of the top ones, I think, in the region.
And that game coming up this afternoon as Hot Springs has their home opener against the 4-0 Spearfish Spartans. That game right here on KDSJ Sports this afternoon as we have some time with the Hot Springs head boys basketball coach, Aaron Nodaboom. Thanks a lot, Coach, for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cody.
Welcome back to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth here at Case Auditorium in Hot Springs on a Saturday afternoon. The first game of our Black Hills Conference doubleheader is Spearfish at Hot Springs. The girls' game just getting out of halftime break. Spearfish had a 31-4 lead at halftime. Now it's 33-6 as each team have gotten a field goal here in the second half. That shot made by Hot Springs, their second field goal of the game by Majeski. And if you're playing Scrabble at home, it's MaciejeWski.
If you are playing Scrabbles, I think you used up all of the E's and I's out of the entire box.
We used a few vowels there for Kennedy Majeski. 33-6. And 6:27 left to play here, third quarter. Spearfish coming around. There's Scharf over to Dana. Dana back over to Kirk. Starting five is in there for Spearfish. Three ball on the way. No good by Scharf. Rebound literally comes right to the Spearfish Lady Spartans Bowman. She's been quiet today. Scharf leads the way with 15 points. I said she outscored the Hot Springs Bison by herself. Well, so did Scharf. She had 8 points. Hot Springs is at 6. Here's the pass up top. Here comes Hot Springs. Down the right side of the floor, trying to feed it in, and there with the steal is Bowman. A defender all over her, number 22, Ashlyn Elshier. Now they come over here to the right side. Pass intended inside to Josie Dana, and it's tipped away. I believe it's going to be a push from behind on Hot Springs. So a foul on the Lady Bison. A couple subs coming in here for Spearfish.
I believe that's Lainey Ewing and Callie Reiners coming in to replace Addie Bowman and Maya Kachutin. So we see Kirsch, nice take. Couldn't quite get it off the glass. Got too far deep underneath the basket. So another empty possession for Spearfish, but still holding on to a 33-6 lead. Now man-to-man defense on Spearfish as Josie Dana causing the turnover on Hot Springs.
Hot Springs will keep it right underneath your own basket. Hot Springs pep band here today, working on a Saturday afternoon. Good to see the kids there. And back outside, Hot Springs looking for a shot. Can't find anything so far. With it is Bader. Bader over to the wing, bounce pass back to Bader. About 3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. 33-6. And a reach-in foul going to be called here on Spearfish. That stops the clock. Last night we had high school wrestling. Clayson and I, along with Rex Lyon, were over in Sturgis for the Scoopers duel with Rapid City Central. Sturgis won the girls duel 30-27, and then they controlled the boys duel from the opening match to the final pin.
I believe that was 64-9 was the final of the boys duel.
Next Tuesday, we will be Lee Deadwood High School Gym number 2. Great place to see some wrestling. We'll have it for you here on KDSJ Sports. Avery Kirk with the steal, and she lays it up and in for 2. So instead of a pick 6, it's pick 2. And Kirk has 6 points. Spearfish playing good defense. Scharf trying to get the steal. Hot Springs picks up the dribble. They're in trouble. The head coach is right behind the official in case he needs to call a timeout to keep the possession live. And instead, we're going to have a push here on Spearfish.
I believe they're going to catch Kirk with her first foul of the afternoon. Yep, that'll be Avery Kirk's first.
Spearfish girls and boys, last time they played was last Saturday at home against Rapid City Stevens. Girls lost, boys won.
Both in a dramatic fashion.
Yeah, girls thought they had that one in the bag, but final few possessions did not go their way, and Stevens able to get out of there with the win.
And then on the flip side, on the boys' side, you thought Stevens had it all wrapped up, and Spearfish with a few bench performers able to get a last-ditch bucket from Cooper Gibbs and giving Spearfish the win.
Spearfish gets the defensive rebound. Josie Dana grabs the basketball, takes it with her. Now gets it up the floor here to Reiners. Reiners, the setter in volleyball, serves this one up over to Scharfer. Three-pointer, no good. Spearfish plays usually 2 or 3 girls off the bench. That's about it. Nobody injured. Last year they were kind of going through some injuries at different parts of the season. And now they give time for Hot Springs to make a substitution. Majeski checks back in. Our KDSJ Sports this afternoon being brought to you in part by Wolf's Plumbing and Heating and the Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish. 35-6. Keeping track at home, Spearfish with 4 points in this quarter. Hot Springs with 2.
And we're about 3:30 left to go in the third quarter. So another slow quarter, much like we saw at the start of the game.
Here is a steal by Dana. Now Spearfish is being more methodical offensively. They're not really pushing the pace and trying to get points in transition. They're really settling down in their half-court set. Nice bounce pass from Dana inside to
Lainey Ewing.
And that will be a foul called on Hot Springs. That's going to be their third team foul and the third personal now on Majeski.
One thing about Spearfish, though, This is the first time they've seen a zone defense this year. As I see Kate Scharf, just rolls out. Again, those old rims have been here since Mount Rushmore was being built, making their impact on the game, as it looked like that three-pointer from Scharf would have been all but in, but
they don't give any.
The rim did not agree.
Hot Springs at home last night. The rim agreed with Lakota Tech last night. They scored 91 points on Hot Springs. So the Lady Bison coming off of that loss last night, trying to get into double digits here this afternoon. They scored 10 points against Spearfish last year, and they've scored 8 points against them this year as the bucket goes there for Majeski, who's playing with 3 fouls. But she's probably their best player, so she's going to be out there until she fouls out probably. Here's a dribble from Reiners, trying to get it over to Dana. That was a tough pass. Inside now. Nice attempt to opportunity here by Grubb, and she'll be fouled.
Yeah, that was just a good job by Grubb. Had good positioning on the basket, had her back turned to it, made a move, got around her defender. Not really a drop step or anything, but Grubb just using her quickness to get around the post player defender, and now she takes it right over to the charity stripe.
First free throw is no good by Grubb. That is the third foul on Elsher. So she has 3. Majeski has 3. And second free throw coming up here for Grubb. It's on the way, and that is nothing but net. For Grubb, she has all 3 of her points from the free throw line. And now here we go. Hot Springs with 2 buckets in this third quarter. 2:20 left to play in the third, 36-8. Nice getting into the lane. Good job there by Ewing. Ewing then kicks it back outside to Grubb. Grubb goes into the paint, throws up something. It wasn't good, and it's missed. At the 2-minute mark here of this third quarter, Hot Springs gets it back as they go right to left here in this second half. Going to the baseline. Here's an open look. That's going to be no good for Destiny Webb for Hot Springs. Here's Spearfish. Bounce pass, getting quickly down low to Grubb. Wasted no time, and she'll get fouled. Spearfish, next game, just a quick look at that. I think it's,
I believe, Hill City.
Let's see. Yes, Hill City on Thursday. At Ginn's Gym down in Hill City. That will be on Thursday night.
I believe that'll be a KDSJ-TV exclusive as well, as we'll have, seems like for the first time in forever, a Black Hill State University basketball on KDSJ radio.
Grubb hits both of her free throws. A game coming up on Thursday night for BH at home against Regis, their first game in 3 weeks. And here's a three-point shot, no good. Up ahead to Scharf. Scharf, layup, good at the other end. So Scharf now has 4 field goals, 10 points total, and it's 40-8. Spartans up with 1:20 left to go. We'll see if Coach Johnson uses more of the bench here this afternoon. Girls, get ready. You got a fourth quarter to play coming up. 5 team fouls on Hot Springs here in this quarter, 2 on Spearfish. They have 2 gyms here in Hot Springs, one down the hallway. That's where the JV teams play. Jump shot, no good by Hot Springs. It was a good look. Couldn't get it to go. Now Spearfish brings the ball down the floor. They go over to the right. Here is Scharf, goes deep into the paint and lays it up and in for 2. Kate Scharf with back-to-back buckets. She has a dozen, and the Spartans extend that lead now up to 34 points.
Yeah, another big scoring run for Spearfish, much like they've done the whole game. Again, 2 points, and now another turnover. That turned into another turnover.
Right back and forth. Spearfish had stole the ball. Then they traveled with it, so we had 2 turnovers in just a few seconds. Some sloppy ball now as we get 16 seconds left to play in the third quarter. A running clock here as we have the point differential. And the pass goes inside, and this will be out of bounds. Staying with Hot Springs. The referee will quickly give it to one of the Hot Springs players so they can inbound it. And will they get it off in time? They will not. So, after 3 quarters, the Spearfish Lady Spartans with the advantage over the Hot Springs Lady Bison in this Black Hills Conference matchup. The second BHC game of the season for Spearfish. They got a win over Belle-Fourche in the season opener, and they lead this one after leading it 8-0 after the first quarter. They're up 42-8 after 3. We have your fourth quarter coming up next on KDSJ Sports.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of Pillin Optical. Since 1974, Pillin has dedicated its business to serving the community with quality eye care at a great price. The inventory has grown, giving you the widest selection of frames while maintaining the best prices for your family eye care needs. Your family is special, and Pillin Optical wants you to enjoy every minute clearly with them. After all, at Pillin Optical, quality eye care and customer service is the most important thing next to your sight. Pillin Optical, family owned for 50 years, 409 Kansas City Street.
What is it that makes you powerful? It's not only having a voice, but knowing that it's heard, loud and clear. We understand knowledge can change your life, and that energy will continue to power it. And because you're part of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we're always listening. Because you're more than just a customer, you're a member. And what's more powerful than that?
Powder River Energy, serving Northeast Wyoming since 1946.
A lot.
We're back to action here at Case Auditorium and the Gymnasium in Hot Springs. As Spearfish is on the road today, three-pointer by Scharf is good, as she has had the last 3 buckets for Spearfish. They were up 42-8 at the end of the third quarter, so that meant Spearfish scored 11 points in the third. Hot Springs scored 4. And now three-pointer was good by Scharf, and Spearfish will get it back. We have an appearance here by Sierra Sanford on the floor for Spearfish. She is a sophomore. And we also have, who else is new? That's Callie Reiners. Also new is one of their starters, Adeline Bowman. We have Lainey Ewing out there. So we try to reset the lineup here. Sanford goes in. She's a good cross-country runner, so she has the speed and misses that one. Well, that would be her left leg is in a brace, is Sanford. 45-8, Spearfish in control. We'll have the running clock throughout this fourth quarter with the point differential being over 30. Up ahead. Can't track it down. She does. Bowman. Then the pass inside. The trailer. Always look for them. And it's Callie Reiners with the bucket. Her first 2.
Got some more substitutions for Spearfish. Dagan Muchler, a junior center, 5'10", and Taylor Vitto, number 45, both making an appearance for Spearfish. So the bench is cleared for the maroon and silver.
I think everybody's going to get in for Spearfish today.
And I think Hot Springs is going to follow suit, because they have a full squad substitution coming out next.
So a line change coming in here for Hot Springs.
Okay, here we go. We got...
I'll let you handle this.
Okay, well, thanks. Number 23, Emma Prius, a freshman guard, 5'5". Number 44, that is Riona Kindred. She's an 8th grader. You probably get to see a lot of these 8th graders. Number 34, Haley White. We've seen her a few times tonight. She's an 8th grader. Number 10, that is Emmy Baker. She is also, guess what, an 8th grader. And I believe I'm missing one. That is number 32, and that is 32.
Annalike DeBoer.
Ah, there she is. Yep, Annalike DeBoer. Wonder if she's related to Alabama head coach Kaylin DeBoer. Probably not, but
she's a junior. So a couple of 8th graders out there for Hot Springs. One girl out there, the white girl, she has 4 of the 8 points. So she has half their points as an 8th grader. Everybody else is getting a rest. And you're not going to have very many possessions here with this clock running. The only time it'll stop is if there is an injury.
Or a timeout.
Or a timeout, yes. Or if you're shooting a free throw with less than 30 seconds, they're going to stop the clock so the buzzer doesn't go off in the middle of your free throw.
Which is not bad, because this game has had more stoppages than a Netflix pay-per-view.
Oh! He's pulling it all out today. And we don't buffer here on KDSJ.
No, we
TV.
don't.
No, we don't.
And if we do, we just cuss and fix it.
That was a bucket by Muchler. So we get her in the newspaper. And 2 points for her.
I believe that's her first points of the season in the varsity action.
A junior post player at 5'10". You can check out our footage on KDSJ-TV through our YouTube channel. Did we do something wrong that Facebook took us off?
Facebook didn't like us today.
Okay.
No, that's why I was stressed out at the station when you came in. Now I don't have Netflix on the brain. Facebook was not working, so
maybe next time.
Hopefully next time. Okay. But for the foreseeable future, we'll be on KDSJ-TV on YouTube only until we get some technical difficulties worked out with Facebook. So for all your friends wondering, where's KDSJ-TV on Facebook? Well, it's currently not, but you can find us on our YouTube channel at KDSJ-TV. You can rewatch all of our sports broadcasts. You can watch live sports broadcasts. We got some postseason wrap-up from fall sports. We got those interviews on the channel as well. And you can also watch some stuff from the summer that we had. As we had wrestling last night, live wrestling. We also had the Outlaw Square Shootout this summer that KDSJ was at. Just one of the few events that we did this summer. And looking forward to do a little bit more in the spring after the busy sports seasons are over.
And the bucket off the glass is good for Hot Springs. And Emma Prius gets the bucket. So we mark her down. She is the third girl to score for Hot Springs. They've scored 10 points, just as many as they did last year against Spearfish. Last year's score was 48-10. Today, it's 49-10 with 2:22 left to play in the fourth quarter. And Hot Springs will have the basketball. All subs in for them. Looks like everybody coming in off the bench for Spearfish today. Off to a slow start for both of these teams in the first quarter, and it was only 8-0 for Spearfish at the end of the one. I thought the first 3 minutes could have been a whole lot better, and I was thinking Spearfish could have been up by 20 at the end of the first quarter, but they were only up by 8. But then after that, they were up by 27 at halftime, led it by 34 after 3 quarters, and they lead it by 39 right now. Deep into the paint, put it up, and she does. And that will be shooting it was Lainey Ewing. And did she get called for the 3 seconds? What happened there?
I was looking at the roster about the same time the call was getting put down.
Don't we miss much. 49-10. It's a 39-point lead here for the Spartans as the Spartans steal it right back. And now they will set up their offense. Sanford running the point here for Spearfish. Sanford will go over to the right, dribble a little bit. Now back out on top. They feed it inside. This was the girl that had it last time. That was Ewing. Misses the shot. And we're going to have a ball go to bounce. Back over to Hot Springs. Under a minute left to go here in the fourth quarter. Boys game will start after this. Probably not the 3:30 start as we were scheduled. They'll probably just keep rolling along so everybody can get home in the wintry weather of the Black Hills tonight. As clock stoppage here with 38.5 seconds left. They stop the clock so they can have a substitution come in here for Hot Springs. If they didn't call the whistle, Miss Susanna Campbell would not probably get into the game. So they're going to let her get in. 38.5 seconds left. She has the basketball being guarded here by the Spearfish Spartans on the top of the key. Hot Springs trying to get one more bounce pass to the paint. Not there. And the shot clock is turned off. And Spearfish will get their third win of the season. Go to 2-0 in the Black Hills Conference. Going to be led this afternoon by the Kachutin-Scharf connection. Josie Dana, who had 25 points last Saturday, will have 2 today. A bucket in the first half.
Well, like I said, every single time these Spartans hit the floor, other than Maya Kachutin, someone else can go off. It's been Josie Dana. It's been Kate Scharf. And today, it was Kate Scharf's turn to get up there in the scoring column.
So Hot Springs scores 2 points here in the fourth quarter, 6 points in the second half. as Spearfish goes away winning at 49-10. The final score here as Spearfish goes to 3-2 in the season. Hot Springs drops to 1-3. Spearfish is 2-0 in the Black Hills Conference, and Hot Springs will drop to 0-2. Your final on the Judix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. A Saturday afternoon matinee goes to Spearfish as the Lady Spartans win at 49-10. We'll have a quick recap of this one coming up next right here on KDSJ Sports.
And comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity, hydrostatic or gear transmission options, and affordably priced. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. See Butte County Equipment, located on U.S. Highway 212, Belfouche, or go online to automotivecompanyinc.com.
Make eating better, easy with Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish. Just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean you can't eat better. Made to order smoothies, wraps, sandwiches, and flatbreads that instantly boost your mood, all with delivery available. Plus, check out all the different flavors of smoothie bowls, salads, and even breakfast items. Located off I-90, exit 14 on Platinum Drive, just down the hill from the Holiday Inn. Eat well, live well at Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish.
Welcome back here to the Case Auditorium in the Hot Springs High School on a Saturday afternoon. And Spearfish girls opening up our doubleheader with a win over Hot Springs today. The final score 49-10. Spearfish was up 8-0 at the end of the first quarter. They outscored Hot Springs 23-4 in the second quarter to go up 31-4 at halftime. Third quarter, Spearfish outscored Hot Springs 11-4. So it's 42-8 after three quarters, and Spearfish outscores Hot Springs 7-2 in the fourth quarter to win it 49-10. Spartans with a 39-point victory and almost the exact same score as it was last year between these two teams. It's time now to recognize our superior performer. It's our superior performance being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions. Call 605-642-9111 or see their inventory online at superioroutosd.com. And here's Clayson Davis with the recognition of today's player of the game.
And that will go to Kate Sharp for Spearfish, as she, as well as Maya Kachutin, led the Lady Spartans in scoring. So it seems like every single time the Spearfish hits the floor, someone else other than Maya Kachutin gets into the scoring column and has a good day. And today it was Kate Sharp, and for her efforts as well as a great game defensively, Kate Scharf is awarded our Superior Performer, brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Remember, if you want to vote for your favorite Superior Performer of the month of December, that voting is up and going right now on our website at KDSJ980.com, as you can vote for your favorite Superior Performer of the month of December throughout all of our sports broadcasts, our Superior Performers, as the polls are open, and the winner, their school, will win $100 in donation from Superior Auto Solutions to the school's athletic fund. So if you want your school to get an extra $100 from a stellar performance in the month of December, go ahead and vote for our Superior Auto Solutions Superior Performer of the month of December. Again, closing, that date will close on the end of January.
Were you struggling to know what month it was? And
yeah,
how many days
I had a brain fart. I'm like, it's not February, is it? No, it's not.
It is Saturday. Also, we have to remind people what day of the week it is this time of year during the Christmas break. Let's run down the numbers. Spearfish Lady Spartans winning at 49-10. They got 7 girls into the scoring column. Maya Kachutin had 15 points, including three-pointers. 15 points coming from Kate Sharp, our player of the game tonight. Kate had 8 points in the first half, 7 in the second half. She made 2 3-pointers and a free throw to get recognized as our superior performer. Also in the scorebook this afternoon, 6 points from Avery Kirk, 5 points from Tierson Grubb, 2 points from Josie Dana. So she goes from 25 points one game to 2 points the next game, but there is some depth on this Spearfish squad. So if she's not having it going, somebody else can step up. They really didn't need her to go off for 25 today either. Reiners had 2 points, and Muchler off the bench had 2 points for Spearfish. 7 girls scored. They hit 5 3-pointers this afternoon. Not great shooting overall by Spearfish. They did make 6 free throws. You might say they played down to their competition today against Hot Springs, especially in that first quarter. They did play good defense, but unable to get the offense going. And first of all, they didn't look like they were really trying too hard against this Hot Springs team, but they led it 8-0 after the first quarter and then kicked it into gear a little bit as the game went on. 4 points from White today for Hot Springs. She's the 8th grader. 4 points from Majeski. She is a senior. And 2 points from Prius off the bench. She is a freshman for Hot Springs. 3 girls scored. Just 10 points total for Hot Springs. They did not make any 3-pointers. They made 2 free throws in the contest, and that was in the first half. Spearfish wins it 49-10, and they are now 3-2 in the season. They'll be back in action, against Hill City Thursday night, January 9th. Down at Ginn's Gym in Hill City. That'll be a Black Hills Conference doubleheader over on KDSJ-TV exclusively on Thursday. What do you got going on over there, KDSJ-TV?
Well, KDSJ-TV, we're going to conclude the girls stream. We're going to roll on over to the boys stream and get ready for some boys varsity high school basketball action between the undefeated Spearfish Spartans and the Hot Springs Bison. These two teams had a classic last year, and we could be in for another good one here tonight. But the girls stream will end here soon, and then we'll get going with the boys side. So I will see you guys over on the boys stream on KDSJ-TV.
I'm Cody Oliver. We'll take